Do you think that the most important input to art as a general, thing is the creativity that goes into it, not as much the output and what canvas or medium is used?
I think it really depends on the work. It's really just about the connection that it makes with people at the end of the day. That's it. If it's something that really sort of affects a bunch of people, it will have value. If it's something that doesn't affect a bunch of people, then it won't have value. It's not really any more simple or any more sort of complicated than that. It's sort of, if it has a big impact on culture, that's value.
How do you feel now that you've had the success that you have? How do you feel about being accepted by the traditional art community?
It's very weird because a lot of my stuff, it's fucking dicks all over this, and it's fucking,
Some of them you have to blur on Instagram, and only see them on Twitter.
There's a ton I have to blur on Instagram, and it's giant vaginas and this and that, and seeing it people very serious people kind of thinking about this stuff and that's that thing over there, and it's just, to me, that's.
But,
but
technically people have been doing it.
Giggling while making it. And this was I want it.
But it's I think it's interesting because I think the people who really do from the traditional world think about this stuff very deeply and sort of get past the fact that it is very shocking. They see that there actually is a lot of thought into it and a lot of time went into that. It's not like part of the joke of the thing is I put a ton of time into it. It wasn't just I drew some fucking wieners and it took 2 seconds. It's no, I spent 70 hours drawing those fucking wieners on that thing. I went hard as shit.
From Superbad, where he's just obsessed with drawing dicks.
Veiny, dude. I literally painted veins on this Jeff Bezos. There's this one piece I did for this show in New York just a couple months ago. And it was Jeff Bezos with all these dicks growing out of his head. And I literally painted veins on the dicks for probably 2 straight days of just literally going in and drawing these. Yeah.
That's so funny.
But even that, as much as we laugh about it, people have been sculpting and painting
exactly
cocks
that's the thing.
Thousands of years. And those are some of the most sought after and well-known and established sculptures and paintings in the history of the world have giant cocks on attached.
Men usually work very, very hard to impress women for vagina. Yeah. And girls, I don't think girls really give a fuck. I think they kind of they're more personality, but.
No, but it is you're to your point of sculpting. It very much is sort of it was sculpting on these things, and it is something where people's perceptions of what is sort of okay, what is obscene, that changes over time.
Yeah,
things that were 100 years ago, it's oh my god, a bathing suit where you see your feet, what the fuck, you whore, it's you know what I mean, it's things change over time. So it's sort of maybe in 100 years, this Bezos dick thing's in a fucking kid's book. I don't know.
For sure.
I don't fucking know.
No, it's becoming more and more mainstream.
Probably not. I don't think that's no. I'm getting a lot of. I'm reading the audio. I'm seeing a lot of no's in the room. Actually, that's feeling like a no.
We were all with you, bro, and then you just crossed that line.
We'll edit that out. We'll edit that out.
No, that'd be hilarious. I see what you're saying.
No, I'm not.
We're becoming more and more either weird, accepting of certain things, and then absolutely unaccepting certain things. And so dude, Jeff Bezos, is he a dickhead? Is that where, or what was where did the inspiration from that particular piece come?
I think there's some things they could do better. Let's say that. I think I don't know. It's sort of a lot of the pieces that I have about I've got a bunch of things with Zuckerberg and stuff too that are not super flattering, I guess, to say the least.
What about Elon?
I've got some stuff with Elon. That stuff's a little more flattering. Some of it, a little over the top. He's definitely had an interesting couple months here. But I think to me it's interesting sort of exploring the relationship between these insanely powerful people who have these are the kings of today, because they can just unilaterally do things that just affect all of us. Amazon could just be guess what? All the Prime memberships are twice as much. And I don't know, you'd probably still have it because it's it's really kind of convenient. And you could just fucking do that. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just sort of, they have so much Zuckerberg,
leverage.
Holy shit, he could do so much that would just especially us who have you know, so much of our sort of like livelihood and like what we do, business is about social media. Like, dude, that guy could do like so much to like just change how like affect people all over the world, like immediately, like unilaterally.
Yeah.
And like that's crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah. It's kind of like, in some sense, I feel like he almost has more power than like anybody in the world in certain aspects, because he
technically the Chinese government has a lot now with TikTok, right? And Elon,
that's also scary too, to be
right?
honest.
So they have like governmental and territorial power over a social media engine, and now it seems like Elon's trying to step his game up and get the same power over Twitter. So all that's going to be left is Bezos and Instagram. He's going to have Bezos. He's going to have to buy IG.
The facial things for like filters got banned in Texas?
Certain states, 2 states.
Wait, what was that?
What would you say?
There's like a law in like two of the states that bans biofacial like recognition or facial recognition. And so as a result of that law that's already in place, it banned the ability for, I think, Snapchat and Instagram to utilize those filters in those states.
Really?
Yeah,
that's
I don't
very
know exactly
because it reads your face and stuff. But
that's crazy. That's very.
I feel like we've gotten to a point with technology, like regardless, if somebody really wanted anything on you, it's like there's cameras and like,
Well, you've already posted a million pictures of your face. It's like.